Alrighty, guys. So somebody had requested that I watch this video. It's a little interesting. I'm kind of curious. It's called The Interrogation of Stephanie Lazarus. So I guess this will be a fun little deep dive here. So let's go.
The detectives created a ruse, inviting Stephanie to come in and advise them on a case involving stolen art. Knowing they were dealing with one of their own, they rehearsed and prepared for the interview more than anything they had done before. Their plan of attack was to keep the conversation as casual as possible for as long as possible, and carefully waited for the key moments to initiate the confrontation.
Stephanie, I don't know if you know my partner.
Hey, great.
What is she being accused of? That's the thing. Obviously that's what I'm curious about. Let's see. Was she a police officer? Oh, she's accused of murder. 27 years in prison. Jesus. Wow.
Hi. Sure, nice to meet you.
See you guys.
How's it going?
A woman cop? Damn, who would have thought?
Good.
No, Nora. Well, have a seat. I didn't want to talk about this in the squadron because I don't know who people are listening.
That's true.
And if we go to my side, everybody's always wondering what everybody else is doing.
Wait, so was she a police officer? Because that's interesting. I feel like the dynamic in this case will be very interesting because there is a but. Am I right about that? It looks like she was. I mean, that's what I'm assuming. That's what she looked. It looks like she's a police officer, or she was a police officer. So the reason that's weird, or that's interesting to me, she killed her husband and is an ex-cop. Yeah, the reason that's interesting to me is I wonder if she feels like she's going to get the buddy-buddy treatment because of the fact that she was a police officer. So she thinks that she's going to get like a little bit of a special treatment, and that might have an impact on this particular case. I wouldn't doubt that.
Okay.
The first thing the
The case went cold, and they picked it back up and realized that she was literally the culprit, hence the interview. Ah, interesting.
detectives do is set up a compatible tone with a suspect. She has just stepped foot inside an interrogation room, and the detectives negate the negative implications of such an environment through a friendly disposition. Consultative meetings, such as seeking advice over an art theft, can take place anywhere, and the last place detectives would choose to spend more time in would be an interrogation room. The reason they give the suspect for meeting in such an unusual location is to not spread rumors or innuendo. Yet the real reason is that all firearms have to be checked in before entering the area, and they needed the suspect to give up her gun without alerting suspicion.
But like we're talking about being busy and stuff,
That's
we've been
smart.
assigned a case that we've been looking at.
Okay.
It's a new case, and reviewing the case, there's some notes to see as far as your name being mentioned.
Okay.
Do you know John Rutan?
Try and imagine for one moment that
Is John Rutan the person that she killed, or was it just her husband?
you savagely murdered a love rival in a jealous rage. Over 2 decades had passed since the act. Then all of a sudden, you're brought to an interrogation room and sat directly opposite 2 senior investigators who bring up the name of the man you committed first-degree homicide for.
4? Wait, so did she... Wait, hold on. She killed this guy for... She killed her husband for this guy? Is that what they're saying?
John Rutan?
Rutan.
The investigators already knew how to say John Rutan's name correctly. The mispronunciation was a simple strategy to see how the suspect would react.
Wait a minute, what?
Man you committed first degree directly opposite since the act.
Hold on.
Then all of a sudden...
Hold on.
About being busy and stuff, we've been assigned a case that we've been looking at.
Okay.
It's a new case, and reviewing the case, there's some notes to see as far as your name being mentioned.
Okay.
Do you know John Rutan?
Oh, that's so fucking clever, dude. Oh, shit. I didn't even catch that until this guy pointed it out. They said John Rutan, and then she said John Rutan?
Try first degree homicide for.
John Rutan?
Rutan.
Oh, shit. Damn, she just self-exposed. I would have said, no, I don't know who the fuck that is, dude. I don't know that guy. That's crazy. She didn't kill him. She killed his wife. Oh, damn. Jesus.
The investigators already knew how to say John Rutan's name correctly. The mispronunciation was a simple strategy to see how the suspect
that's
would
crazy.
react. Setting aside the element of the murder, John Rutan was the second longest relationship in Stephanie's life, and a psychiatrist later stated that this pause was 4 times as long as it should have been. She was already being deceptive by acting as if she hadn't thought about that name for so long, giving reason for her prolonged reflection, when in reality, the name John Rutan was engraved in her memory, and even when slightly mispronounced, pronounced, it would have most likely taken milliseconds for her to realize exactly who the detectives were referring to.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I went to school with him.
You did?
Yeah.
How long did you know him?
Gosh, I went to school in, let's see, went to UCLA in 1978 I started, and, met him at school at the dorms.
Mm-hmm.
She says she met him in the
Just slamming that
dorms,
table.
yet left out the fact that they had dated for 4 years and went on numerous holidays together, even though she...
Interesting. So that's dude, these people are smart, because then that would just communicate if she feels the need to hide that. I mean, if they dated for a period of time, then why wouldn't she be like, oh yeah, we dated in like whatever? Why not just bring it up? Unless you feel like saying that would be incriminating in some capacity. That's the only reason I could think that you would want to hide that information. Oh shit.
wasn't asked directly. A truthful subject would most often volunteer this information without having to be pressed for it.
I used to dig
Were
me
you
down
friends,
dirty.
Close friends?
Yeah, we're very close friends.
Yeah.
I mean, what's this all about?
Well,
Close
it's regarding. It's a case we're working on.
Hey,
here.
maybe she's just not the relationship type of gal. She's like, listen, we can be friends with benefits. Hey, that's new age stuff. Maybe she's just a very progressive. You don't fucking know. I do know. That's not true.
Involves John, and in there.
What's
some
up,
of the
Nikki?
things
30s.
we
Fucking
reviewed,
amazing.
There's notes and stuff
My
that
favorite.
he knew you and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean we good friends. Lived in the dorms for. I lived in the
Wow.
dorms for 2 years.
You guys lived in the same dorm?
Yeah.
Or- okay.
Yeah, Dykstra.
Okay. Were you guys just friends or anything else, or?
Yeah, we were good friends.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Was there ever any relationship or anything that developed between you guys?
Yeah, I mean we dated. You know.
Why wouldn't she just say that immediately? Yeah, we used to fuck. Like, just bring that up right off the bat. What a suspicious character from Among Us for you not to bring that up immediately. That feels like number one, the information numero uno that I would have given out. Right? I mean that makes sense to me.
I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's relating to his wife.
It's unfortunate that Stephanie's face wasn't captured at this moment, because she would have no doubt been immediately struck by the psychological reaction known as fight or flight. Her brain
Interesting.
would have just triggered the influx of a specific cocktail of hormones in order to prepare her to either stay and deal with the threat or try and run away to safety. Stephanie chooses to fight.
It's so weird, bro. I know this is like a dumb point, but it's so interesting, the mix of emotions that floods people in different circumstances. And I just find it bizarre. You know, I don't know. It's just kind of fascinating to me sometimes.
Okay.
Okay. Did you know her?
Not really. I mean, I knew that he got married years ago.
Did you ever meet her?
God, I don't know.
Do you know who she was or anything?
Well,
Yeah, well, we'll just say that red wasn't her color. What do you think about that? That's very inappropriate.
let me think. God, it's been a long time ago.
That's very inappropriate.
I may have met her. Jeez.
The words gosh,
geez,
God,
gosh.
gee are exclamatory remarks used to express surprise or strong emotion. You will see them used continuously throughout this interrogation, which is the suspect trying to insinuate a vague memory due to a lack of contemplation on the subject matter.
So did this guy give like fucking D1 dick or something? Like why would she kill somebody for him?
Trying to emit the impression that she would have had no reason to give any further thought to John, or anything related to John, since they stopped seeing each other over 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I messaged John on Facebook and I said, I've been thinking about you for such a long time, sweetie pie.
Well, let me see. Let me ask you. You said you dated John. How long did you guys date?
I mean, what, are you guys? Is this something?
As we know, Stephanie is a cop and has been for 25 years.
Yeah.
She
So far, it took her 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes for her to realize that they're fucking interrogating her.
will be wise to the fact that acting oblivious to the unusual development of the situation will be a glaring red flag in the eyes of the investigators. It's been shown time and again on this channel. Guilty suspects will often try and act naive to a blatant confrontation as a means to avoiding it altogether, whereas truthful subjects will address the confrontation and either refute it, or if it's subtle, want immediate clarification and transparency as to what was being insinuated.
I mean, you said I was going to interview somebody about art and how
Well,
you guys are.
Here's
I mean,
Stephanie, here's the situation. It's basically we
Damn, that's heavy breathing, bro. What the fuck am I doing then? Jesus.
we knew that this, when we saw this in this chrono, that maybe, there was some relationship there. That's what the chrono seemed to indicate.
The detective now subtly avoids the question altogether, but instead offers a deceptively reassuring response to the suspect. He makes a very sharp switch from the investigative subject matter to the previous topic of workplace rumors. He brings her focus back to the false perception of them being on her side. Stephanie had just asked what was going on, and now he essentially replies with, "We are your friends. We're doing you a favor."
And we didn't want to come up to you at your desk and ask those kinds of questions or do anything. You know how up there people can see what's going on if you go into an interview room or people are in there getting supplies.
Okay.
So we wanted to afford you some privacy, some confidentiality to talk about this, because we thought it might be, something, you're married to someone else, obviously, and so forth, and that you may not want to, talk about these things in that setting where someone, we don't want the rumor mill or gossip or anything.
Oh my, is she gonna fall for this though?
That kind of stuff.
I mean, that's fine.
So
Does she really fall for that though? Yeah, we wanted to pull you out there because we were gonna ask you about an ex of yours, and we didn't want people to start speculating that you were fucking him again or something. And she's like, "Yeah, that makes perfect sense." Maybe that made perfect sense however many years ago. I don't know, but that just seems such a weak argument. I can't believe she falls for it. At least it seems like she's falling for it.
We did this just as a means to try and speak to you in just a confidential place where where your business isn't out there for other people in your division to know about.
Whether it be shock or the total reluctance to accept the situation at hand, Stephanie warily accepts the reassuring response without further inquiry into her initial challenge. She instead falls back into her agenda of having a foggy memory with regard to the incriminating contents.
God, that's been a million years ago. I mean, what year is it now? 2009? I mean, I graduated in 82.
2009? That's not that far ago. How long is it? I mean, I was 19. Damn. I was like a baby back then.
Yeah. We dated. I dated other guys. I'm sure he dated other girls.
Maybe he dated other guys too. You don't know.
Let me ask you, roughly how long would you say you guys dated?
I know this is like a weird thing to bring up, but if I just open this up, you see this map. This looks like a fucking dog's dick, no? Right? Like a balls and then like a wiener. You're gonna have to. I can't verify that on the stream, but.
Oh, jeez.
What would you say?
Would you say you guys dated?
Oh, jeez.
Well, let me ask you, roughly how long would you say you guys dated?
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Oh, jeez.
I couldn't even say. I mean...
Notice how she now goes on to over-explain things that don't require an explanation, and weren't even inquired about. It's a clear-cut indication of hyperarousal and a derivative of TMT, also known as terror management theory. The suspect will go off on unrelated tangents as means for gaining momentary relief. Going into detail about trivial things affords her a brief escape from the terrifying reality eventuating before her. This is a very common occurrence in interrogations where the suspect is facing serious charges, and psychiatrists believe it to be a subconscious coping mechanism.
I started school there in 78. I started UCLA in 1978. I graduated in 82. I don't even remember what year he graduated, if it was a year or two before me.
Okay.
I think he was a little bit older than I was. I mean, I can't remember if he was born, let's say I'm born in 1960. I don't know if he was born in 58 or 59. I mean, I knew his parents, I knew his sister, his brother went to Northridge.
That's a lot of information.
His sister spent the night at my house before. Obviously, I spent the night at his house before. He probably spent the night at my house before.
I said obvious.
I
guess if you're dating,
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, because from what you're telling me, you guys dated while you were in college together, right?
Yeah, and probably after college. I can't... Jeez, trying to think when I met my husband. I met my husband.
She's a gapster. Listen, I knew that she was lying the moment she said she doesn't remember when she met her fucking husband. My wife remembers all that goddamn shit. I don't. We were talking today about how long we were married for. I said I got the anniversary date mostly right. I said November 13th, 2022. She said no, 2021. I said oh, oops. I was a little mistake. So the fact that she doesn't know either means that she's lying or she's a lesbian. Okay. That's all you got. That's all. Only two options.
Let's see. I was teaching DARE because I met Scott when I was teaching DARE up in Oregon. But we had long stopped, dating before that.
So you haven't talked to him for a long time?
Oh, I think I haven't talked to him in a long time. I couldn't even tell you when the last time I talked to him. I met Scott, I'm thinking in 92 maybe,
Okay,
April of
okay.
92.
Gotcha.
It was,
Scott being your husband.
yeah, I'm trying to think. I was
Scoot.
teaching Dare.
Same as Scoot.
Let's see, what year is this? We'll be married. I got married in 1996.
Me too.
I think I met Scott in 92. Prior to that, I couldn't tell you how long I had talked to John prior to that.
But since you met your husband, Scott, you haven't
Yeah,
talked
no other option. That's it. Those are the two options.
to him?
I mean, he may have called me once or twice before we got married.
Right.
You know, geez, I moved to Simi in 1994
See me?
because I lost my house in the earthquake.
Oh, really?
Damn.
Quite honestly, I probably keep in contact with a few people from the dorms. We all lived on the 10th floor.
Why do you keep in contact with people from college? I don't. Fuck those nerds. Stinky little nerds. No, I have like one friend, but I don't really keep in contact with my friends too much.
And there's about 3 or 4 people I keep in contact with. There's probably like 6 or 8 of us that were all really close.
Mm-hmm.
And who are those people?
Oh, jeez.
Diana.
Diana Basta.
Oh, gee,
People I
golly.
still keep. I haven't been in contact with her in a long.
She's from Minnesota. Is that why she's? Is that what's going on here? Oh, geez. Oh yeah. I remember that. I remember Diane Flowers. We used to go play cricket ball together. I don't think that's an American thing, but you get my point. I'm making fun of the accent, okay? It's a fucking joke. It's the joke. You get it.
Long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's this all about? I mean,
What's
Well, let me ask you.
what's
The
it all about?
suspect challenges the detectives for the second time, and once again the question is avoided, but this time in a more confrontational manner, as the topic is maintained with no reassurance afforded. The detectives are ramping up the pressure in a very subtle yet highly effective manner.
What ended the relationship between you and John?
I don't
take too kindly to your questions. You hear?
It was kind of a weird relationship. I mean, we dated. I can't say that he was my boyfriend. I don't know that he would consider me his girlfriend. We dated.
Damn.
We did things. I played sports in college. He played basketball. His brother played basketball.
It's just using a black guy, huh? That's pretty cool.
We
I'm
just,
down with it.
it just didn't work out. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It was like I went out with other guys, saw other guys, and went on lots of
Hey, don't make fun of me for my pronunciation of milk. That's how you're supposed to say it. Milk? Hi, guys. I would like a glass of milk. Can I have some milk, please? That's so weird. You're the weird one. That's bizarre.
vacations.
Milk. Milk.
And once you guys split, were you guys still friends, or kind of,
I mean-
problems? Is it friendly, not friendly?
No, I don't think it was not friendly. I mean, we were friendly. I know that we went to Hawaii at one point.
What the fuck? Yeah, we were a little friendly. I wouldn't say we necessarily were boyfriend and girlfriend. We kind of dated. Oh yeah, we went to Hawaii. Bro, what the fuck? Did she live next to Hawaii? I don't even know what's next to Hawaii. I think that's an island. Let's see. Interesting. Is Hawaii an island? I think it is. There's a bunch of islands. I don't know. I don't care. I don't have to. I'm a white guy and I'm ignorant, and that's okay. But how do you just casually go to fucking Hawaii? How do I pronounce bagel? Bagel. I got to get a fucking bagel. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
The hell was that?
Hawaii.
Was she like a demon?
At one point. Yeah, I mean,
Bro, she's a fucking demon. That scared the shit out of me. Hold on, I'm watching it again.
At one point. Yeah, I mean,
I would have let her free. I'd be like, "You're free to go, man. You fucking demon." That would have terrified me. Holy moly! I know that these fast forwarded it.
And you
but-
were saying that
it's 2009 now.
had you ever met his wife?
I may have.
Do you remember her name or anything, or? Or what she did for a living, or where she worked?
Well, she's not doing anything for a living now after I shot her. Sorry. That was a little inappropriate.
Or anything about her?
The suspect was just asked 3 consecutive questions relating to the victim. She was supposedly in a reflective state during all 3 of the questions, yet her facial expression completely changed for the 3rd one. This is because she was pretending to be in a state of reflection for the first 2 questions, as she already knew the answers, whereas for the 3rd question, she actually was in a state of reflection and was genuinely searching her memory for the correct response.
Thank God we have all these resources available for people who like break down and psychoanalyze all these liars when it comes to them like committing murder and doing this and doing that, because then for us normal folks, it helps us lie in the future. We know what to avoid. It teaches us how we could properly lie. Now, I'm not going to do a murder or anything, but you know, sometimes my wife goes, "Did you get food without me?" I don't know if you knew that. I don't know if you knew this, but getting food without your significant other is a mortal sin. And so I gotta learn to lie better about that, brothers, because I'll fucking die if I keep lying about that.
Had you ever met his wife?
I may have.
Do you remember her name or anything, or?
The 3rd question is about...
She looks kind of like a character from like Universal Studios, like a fucking Muppet, or more like a Who from Whoville or something. She's very expressive.
To be posed, and her focus is about to switch from pretending to be thinking to actually thinking.
Or what she did for a living, or where she worked, or anything about her?
Well, I think I'm going to say that I think she was a nurse.
Yeah. Me too.
Man, I can't remember how he said he met her. I mean, it's been so long ago.
Well, let me ask you, did you go to their wedding, you know?
No, I didn't go to their wedding. No, I did not
Did she actually go to the wedding?
go to their wedding.
That'd be fucking crazy. How do you lie about
Let me
that?
tell you what year he got married. I mean, you know, it's been a million years ago. You know, again, I mean, what, you know, I don't understand why you're talking about some guy I dated a million years ago.
Well, do you know what happened to his wife?
Yeah, I know she got killed.
You wouldn't need to be an expert in body language to recognize the unmitigated terror emanating from the suspect's face at this moment. She had just verbalized the victim's tragic demise for the first time in most likely over 2 decades.
Damn.
What did you hear about that?
I saw a poster at work. I'm sure.
I'm very confused. So she killed this guy's wife, but then they're not dating now? You know what I mean? Wouldn't they start dating? Doesn't make sense to me.
Spoke to him about it.
Wait, what?
I'm sure I spoke to him about it.
I thought you said you haven't talked to this guy in such a long time. Oh, it's unraveling. She's unraveling, guys. She's unraveling. We got her. Get her to the Greek. Don't do that though.
I think I spoke to another friend of his about it.
Yeah.
And how did you first learn about that?
Jeez. Someone could have called me. I could have heard it at work.
Yeah.
I think at one point there may have been a flyer or something.
Yeah.
I know a good friend of his.
They used to put up flyers when someone died. Like, hey, they're like, I thought they only put flyers for people who were missing. Well, I guess they're missing their life. Inappropriate, sorry.
Were you on the job back then when that happened?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm sure.
What, did she retire? Why isn't she a cop anymore after this anyway? She's not a cop now?
I was on the job. That's why I would have heard about it with the flyer. He had a good friend, Mike.
She didn't just kill her. She was beating her body after he died. She or he? Did she kill both of them? I'm so confused.
Oldrick, Mike. You know.
But being that you're kind of
used
to see John.
She beat the body afterwards? What the fuck? Why'd she do it? Like, she's not. It doesn't even seem like she's dating John.
You know, was everything okay between you guys? I mean,
I would have moved away. I would have dipped. If I did something such a heinous thing and I got away with it, I would leave. Not immediately. After a little while, I would just leave. I would be like, yeah, I'm selling the house. I'd say I'm going to Florida or something, and I'd say a couple racist things, so people are like, oh, that's why. It makes sense then, because that's where all the racists go now. So I'll just be like, yeah, I'm tired of all these, I can't even say anything. I'm tired of the diversity here. I'm tired of it. Okay. And then they'd be like, yeah, this guy's just racist. He's typical fucking Floridian, am I right? So.
There was never anything uncomfortable or anything between you and her?
8 separate witnesses testified that Stephanie had confronted Sherry at the hospital she worked at, while the two of them were reportedly in an intimate relationship with John.
Oh, so they were, he was cheating, fucking both of them, his wife and this bitch, and they had a confrontation. She should have just lied. She should have told the truth. Like, yeah, I was fucking her. I was having an affair. You know, it's really terrible because she killed that guy's ex-wife, and that's horrible. But also, crazy bitches do give the best head. So I understand why he was fucking around with her. If to be honest with you, I'm not trying to be rude or just I'm not trying to be insensitive. But I get it. I kind of get it.
The confrontation was said to have been highly aggressive, and Stephanie had to be escorted off the premises by security. Reports stated that Stephanie was by far the more combative and even made threats against Sherry's life.
You know, I don't know. I mean, it's been so many years. I mean, uncomfortable. I mean, I can't even remember if we had a conversation. I mean, we may have. I may have seen her at his apartment. You know, geez, how many years ago was that? I don't even know what year she, got killed.
Where was his apartment?
Notice her passive disposition as she gives the following truthful response.
On Roscoe.
Okay.
Yeah, Roscoe and
Why do you know that? If you guys were barely, what the fuck?
East or west of DeSoto, either east or west of DeSoto.
Do you know where he moved after? Did he move after he got married, or do you know? Or
now notice how her disposition switches from passive to frantic as she once again pretends to have a vague memory.
I'm sure he did.
Did you know where he was living, or
somewhere in the valley?
Probably in a house.
Did you ever visit him and his wife?
No.
No, never went out to, get together, dinners, anything of that nature?
No. Like I said, his sister used to come over. His sister had come to my place. I knew his brother because his brother played basketball at Northridge.
Okay.
In fact, I was just coming across some pictures that I just scanned from. I take a lot of photos, like 10,000, and I just did a service where I scanned everything.
And after his wife died, did you talk to him again or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I did talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to him, probably his parents.
After she died, did they fuck one last time, or did he get so creeped out that they stopped having their affair?
Probably some other friends. I'm sure I talked to him.
Yeah.
But you're not sure where he moved to after he got married?
No idea. I mean,
never went over to visit him or
I don't think.
meet
I mean,
his
I
wife,
don't think so. I mean.
You don't think so? What the fuck?
I don't know. I don't think I did. I mean, I know he lived on Roscoe for a long, long time.
Okay.
And you're right.
I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then, I got a problem with that.
Okay.
Okay? So, if you're doing this as an interrogation, you're saying, hey, I'm a suspect. Well, now I got a problem with, now you're accusing me of...
Damn, it only took her an hour to figure that out. Holy shit. What a fuck... Hey, what a good cop. What a fucking slick cop. Oh, wait a minute. Is this an interrogation? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this an interrogation? It's been a fucking hour, bro. How did you just get it?
This? Is that what you're saying?
We're trying to figure out what happened, Stephanie.
Well, I'm just saying, do I need to get a lawyer if you're accusing me of this?
You don't have to. I mean,
I'm just,
you're here of your own free will. I mean,
no. I know, but
I mean, you're not under arrest. You can walk out.
You can leave whenever you like.
Well, but I'm trying to give you some background.
Well, that's when I would have been like, yeah, peace. I would have been out. Audi 5000, baby. I would have been out right there. Okay.
Of how I knew him, and now you're telling me that somebody's saying that we had this big old fight, and I don't even know what you're talking about. And I don't want to, get in trouble for something
Hey,
that I
what are you guys trying to pull?
didn't even do,
True.
or you're saying I did something.
Okay,
Yeah, we understand.
I mean, how would you guys like it if the tables were turned on you?
I understand. No,
No, that's what we're telling you. I mean, you're free to go whenever you want. If this makes you uncomfortable and you want to, if
Well,
you want
now
to,
you're starting to make me uncomfortable.
the thing is, I mean, detectives did what they could at that time on the crime scene. Okay, and the burglary thing you're talking about, that is an angle that they looked at. I go, but now we're looking at everything else on the case. Because nobody was ever arrested on the case.
I don't know that or not.
Okay. Now, what we'd like to do is, obviously you know about all the DNA stuff and things of the nature that, you know.
Oh shit, they want to get some DNA. Would she fucking come on the body? That's terrible. Why would I even say that? All right, relax. Anyway, what DNA? I guess like fuck, that was so bad. I hate myself. Sorry. I guess maybe fingernails. Probably makes more hair. That makes more sense than what I had initially said without thinking at all.
Gets done on cases nowadays. You know, if we asked you for a DNA swab, would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe.
Damn,
Because now,
Yeah, because
now I'm thinking I probably need to talk to a lawyer.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
because I know how this stuff works. Okay, don't get me wrong. You're right. I have been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
And I wish I had been recording this because now it sounds like, you know, there's.
Well, it sounds. Hey, you're in luck. It's already being recorded. Don't even worry.
You know, you're selling these people.
Oh, they only got DNA because she bit her? What the fuck? Damn. I guess you wouldn't be aware of DNA evidence back then because it didn't really exist, you know? That's crazy. I wonder if when DNA evidence first came out, if there was ever an argument of like, oh, this doesn't really make sense. This is just too new of a technology and we don't trust it. So people like were able to play on the jury's fears of new technology. Because nowadays it's so normal. And we're like, yeah, DNA evidence, duh. Like, duh. But back then, what is new? I wonder if that was like a lawyer's argument. It's like DNA, more like shmna, throw it out. That's scary to me. People are like, yes, I agree. I'm the juror.
Say I'm fighting with her, and now it sounds like you're trying to, you know, I've been doing this a long time.
yeah.
we know.
Okay, and now it almost sounds like you're trying to pin something on me.
No,
now
but-
I got that sense.
Well, what it gets to on these cases, and you know it as well as I do, our job is to identify and eliminate
I
suspects.
can't believe this.
So if we ask you to the point to give us a DNA sample, a buccal swab, so we can identify or eliminate you, would you be willing to do that?
Maybe.
Well,
Because I know this.
well, that's where we're at to. I mean, because
And she was like, yeah, well, I know how corrupt the police system is as a police officer, and I know that you're going to plant evidence. That'd be a fucking baller move.
right now, from looking at the evidence, it's, you know, it's possible we may have some DNA at the location,
that's
Alright.
great.
and
Good. We'll see.
we're going to do what we can to try to put this thing together. And
makes
your
sense.
name's in the book. These people are pointing at you for whatever reason.
I don't know why. That's just crazy. I mean, that's absolutely crazy.
And
It's what's interesting is it is crazy because back then people loved cops. They were like, "Oh my god, I don't hate cops, but they're kind of annoying sometimes." You know, but now the sentiment's different. Back then it was like, "Oh my god," people would like literally masturbate to cops in the street and they'd be like, "Oh my god, thank you for your service." Now I see a cop that's just like sitting in a parking lot with their car on and their AC. It's like, you know, you're using up my taxpayer dollars, bitch, you know? So back then, for them to accuse her, I feel like there's a higher chance that she did it. I mean, she clearly did it because she got caught. You know, but...
and it would be irresponsible on our part not to look at it.
I know. You guys have to do your job,
And-
and I guess I'm going to have to contact somebody.
yeah,
so,
lawyer.
That's fair.
I mean, because I know how this stuff works. I
Sure.
mean, I just can't believe it.
I mean, we understand that. I mean, if we were in your position, I mean, we would.
So did she end up giving them DNA, like, consensually? I wouldn't. I'd say, no, fuck that shit.
feel the same way.
If I did
just
it.
can't even believe it. I mean, it's just. I mean, I'm shocked.
Wait, so they get her on DNA or did they get her on, like, her teeth marks? Is that what you're saying? Because that would be a different thing, right? Well, I guess you could get DNA from her teeth in some capacity or whatever, but I guess her saliva. Or did they do some kind of like a dental match, right? Because everybody's teeth are a little different, right? Mine are perfect, so.
I'm really shocked. that somebody would
Shocked.
be saying that I did this. I mean, we had a fight, and so I went and killed her. I mean, come on.
I mean, come on. What happened to the 5-second rule? It's been 20 years. Who even cares anymore, you dingbat? You know, that's my defense.
Well,
That's
okay.
It's been 20 years.
well. Thanks for giving me the courtesy. I wish I pre-recorded it.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Stephanie, take care.
All right.
All right, Stephanie, you bitch. You murdering bitch. We can drop the case, Stephanie, if you give us some of that crazy sloppy toppy. I mean, maybe. That shit probably goes fucking hard, bro. You know, I could see that. I could see it. I'll be your one-up girl.
This is absolutely crazy.
See, Stephanie.
Stephanie.
This is insane.
Stephanie, you're the crazy one. You're the silly crazy goose, girl. You're the silly goose, you know? You're the silly crazy one. Stephanie, you fucking killed
Stephanie,
a
you know
woman.
you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes.
Anything you
Damn.
say may be used against you in court. Do you understand?
I feel like that's really unfair. You know, like you have the right to remain silent because I feel like, okay, listen. I feel like the right to remain silent is very sexist because as a man, when you say you have the right to remain silent, I'm like, okay, I'll stay quiet. But how the fuck can a woman stay quiet? You know, it's like it's coded in her DNA. That's why women are terrible at crime. You have the right to remain silent. Oh, I have to be silent, huh? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Oh, you would really like that, wouldn't you? That's what I hear. Oh, you would really like that, huh? You like it if I say fine, huh? Crazy.
Yes.
You have the right to the presence of an attorney before and during any questioning. Do you
Damn.
understand?
Yes.
Hey, it's
You cannot
Brexar.
afford an attorney. One will be appointed for you free of charge before any questioning if you want. Do you understand?
Yes.
You want to talk to us right now?
No.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
This
then.
is crazy. This is
Damn.
I'm like in shock. I'm totally in shock.
Good afternoon. We are back on the record in People versus Lazarus. Shortly before noon, the jury announced they have a verdict. We will take the verdict at this time.
People of the State of California versus Stephanie Eileen Lazarus.
Damn.
Case number BA 357423.
What a weird last name. Isn't the Lazarus pit like a pit of immortality, too?
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Stephanie Eileen Lazarus, guilty of the crime of murder of Sherry Rasmussen in violation of Penal Code
Yeah, they're like, you can leave at any time. It's like, all right, peace. All right, you're under arrest. That's funny.
Section 187A, a felony, as charged in count 1 of the information. We further find the murder was of the first degree.
Damn. I think that's the best type, right? Well, not the best.
Your Honor, I'm John Rutten. Thank you for the opportunity to speak during this hearing.
John, shut the fuck up, you trifling asshole. This motherfucker's gonna stand up here and pretend that he gives a fuck about his wife, dude. You were sleeping around with this crazy fuck. This is why you don't cheat on your wife. You might fuck with some crazy ass bitch that's gonna fucking kill her. This is your fault, really. You should go to jail too. It's a man's fault. Here, it's a man's fault. Let's be real. This is a man's fault. You can't expect a woman to act rationally after you give her some fucking good pipe. It's his fault. It's his fault, bro. It's this guy's fault that his wife got killed by this girl because he was fucking around with her.
There are really no words that can describe the loss of Sherry and the whole of this experience, so it makes no sense to talk very long. It suffices to say that the Rasmussen family, my family, and Stephanie's family have been thrust into a bizarre world of disbelief and indescribable sadness. Sherry Rasmussen had a profound impact on so many people.
Then you shouldn't have been fucking around with somebody else, dude.
And I was proud that she
Bitch.
agreed to be my wife. It
So
was
I'll fuck
impossible
another
not to
girl.
notice Sherry when she entered a room. To me, her physical presence was startling. I can clearly remember the first moment I laid eyes on her. Sherry Rasmussen was a physical presence, and my heart still races when I look at pictures of her. But Sherry was extraordinary, more for who she was than the way she looked.
This is sad, though. He probably still loved his wife. I got a question, though, because I never want to have to experience this ever in my entire life, but do you think that, like, when somebody's spouse that they love passed away, you think that they, like, look at old pictures of their spouse and they just start jacking off, you know? Like, is that a comforting thought? What's the relationship with that wank like, you know? Because that'd be fucking sad. You know what I mean? That's a you'd be crying out of both two ends. You know what I mean? I know it's sad, but it's just a thought. It's just a thought I have, and sometimes I think maybe I should keep my thoughts to myself. But you know, sometimes life is life. So
she was a hard worker, a consummate professional, a leader, a diplomat, forgiving, tough, and a kid at heart. Sherry's loss, the way she died, and the trial 25 years after her death has had a profound impact on many, many others. The effects are broad and span a generation, creating pain for those whose lives should have never been touched by this tragic event. Again, words are feeble tools for describing these impacts, but there are so many moments and so very many tears. And the fact that Sherry's death occurred because she met and married me brings me to
and
my
you
knees.
cheated on her, right?
Stephanie Lazarus was sentenced to 20...
Right? Bro, she's got the crazy eyes. Come on. You're old enough to know. When you're a youngster and you fuck around with some crazy bitch, you know, that's when you learn. But this woman, look at her. Oh my God. You knew. You knew what was gonna happen, bro. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, brother.
7 years to life for the murder of Sherry Rasmussen. She is currently being held inside the maximum security unit of the Central California Women's Facility.
She probably eats good pussy in there, too. Sorry.
Any other cars that stand out in your mind?
Fuck this.
That was a terrifying moment. That was scarier than this here. Okay, well, that was something else, man. That was terrifying. That's all I have to say.